A safer workplace begins with strong personal awareness. Each KaMin plant site has its own unique hazards that you must be aware of. Before going out into a plant alone, you must have documented training on the site-specific hazards of that plant. This site-specific hazard awareness training must be refreshed annually. Safety is going home, in the same shape you came in. MSHA regulations require a minimum of 4 hours of training to new miners before they can enter a mine site. A full 24 hours must be completed before the new miner is considered trained. What you learn during MSHA training is a foundation for lifelong safety learning. Time and experience will reveal there is always more to learn where your safety is concerned. In general, all visitors are required to sign in on a log book upon arrival at the plant and are required to sign out when they leave. This allows the company to maintain a working knowledge of the people on the mine site at all times. Log books are located at the main office, the mine office, and the maintenance office. All employees and visitors are required to wear appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, when in the plant operations and mine area. This includes but is not limited to hard hats, safety glasses, proper hearing protection and safety-toed boots. Visitors must never enter a mine pit without additional training and authorization. Mine pit visitors will be expected to stay in their vehicle unless instructed otherwise. Visitors are required to wear a seat belt at all times when they are in a moving vehicle. You are responsible for making sure your visitors adhere to these overall requirements, and that they receive applicable site-specific training. And don't forget that you must also receive site-specific hazard awareness training for the other KaMin plants you visit and do work. Later on in your training, you will be introduced to KaMin's corporate-level safety standards and procedures. All employees are expected to adhere to these policies and procedures. All accidents and injuries must be reported immediately to your supervisor, regardless of the severity.
As a contractor or visitor at Middle Georgia sites, you are required to review and understand the evacuation plan for each location that you visit or perform work.
Below are the topics that will be highlighted.
Activities involving temporary hazards must be barricaded and tagged.
Types of barricades include caution tape. Use yellow caution tape for obvious, avoidable hazards. Examples: slip, trip and fall hazards, equipment being worked on, and guard-offs. Danger tape. Use red danger tape for more serious hazards. Examples: chemical leaks, electrical hazards, and areas with obvious injury potential. Barricade tags must be completed and attached in a clearly visible manner to the barricade tape at entry points. Employees entering a caution barricaded area must read the caution tag to determine and understand the reason for the barricade and take all necessary precautions before entering the area. Caution tape may be crossed with care if the hazard has been identified and appropriate PPE or other protection has been obtained. Persons should not cross danger tape without permission from the person who installed the tape or a supervisor, manager with knowledge of the hazard. Communication. Unprofessional talk, cursing, profanity and/or indecent, offensive language will not be tolerated. Do not write or view text messages, email or the Internet while operating vehicles and/or mobile equipment. Obey all signage. Stop at railroad crossings. Truck traffic is heavy. Please listen for backup alarms. Fire protection. Fire extinguishers are located throughout the plants. If you can safely put a fire out by using one fire extinguisher, feel free to do so. If you have not been trained to use a fire extinguisher, please evacuate and notify all employees in the area. If the fire is more than can be extinguished, please call the KaMin internal emergency number or 911. Please also report the incident to your KaMin contact. Eye wash and shower stations are located throughout the plant and are at all chemical tank locations. Before handling containers with material in them, contact KaMin personnel to determine the contents and safe handling procedures. Workers should review safety data sheets, also known as SDS, and be trained on any on-site chemicals being used. KaMin will provide SDS for any chemicals on-site. Each shift shall inspect all work areas prior to working in the area and document the inspection. Keep work areas clean, neat and free of trip hazards. Clean up all unused materials before leaving premises. Dispose of all food-drink waste and food-drink containers in a trash can with a lid. Personal protective equipment. When you leave the parking lot or office, you will be required to wear hard hat, safety glasses with side shields, steel-toed boots with ankle support and slip-resistant soles, and long pants.
Hearing protection is required in all operations areas.
Wear task-specific PPE, high-visibility vests, respirators, goggles, chemical aprons, face shields, acid, chemical-resistant suits, etc., as required. No finger jewelry is allowed in the plants. Wrist watches must have breakaway bands, no Velcro. Long hair must be secured under the hard hat or tied back in a tight ponytail, knot or bun. Wearing ball caps under hard hats is prohibited. Always wear life jackets when working in or near water. Portable fuel tanks. Portable fuel tanks that are less than 5 gallons must be in approved self-closing safety cans with flame arrestor.
All compressed gas cylinders should be secured in a vertical position with the valve caps in place when not in use. When not in use, cutting torches will be turned off and pressure released from the hoses and regulators. Gas regulators must be equipped with reverse flow check valves and flashback arresters. Flip-up valve protection is sufficient.
Railroad safety. Remember to
Always stop at railroad crossing stop signs.
slips, trips and falls. Use extreme caution on wet or icy surfaces. KaMin plus water equals slippery conditions. If you can walk around wet areas, do so. If something drips on you, don't look up. It's probably water. Elevated surfaces. When working on elevated surfaces, stay on catwalks. Use handrails where provided and maintain 3 points of contact. If work has to be done outside confines of a walkway, fall protection must be worn. Fall protection is required when 4 or more feet off the ground. If an opening is created on an elevated surface, secure the area to prevent entry. If an opening is created on an elevated surface, secure the area to prevent entry. No metal ladders are allowed on site. Tools. When working on elevated surfaces, ensure that tools and equipment are secured and cannot fall to lower level. Inspect tools and equipment before each use to ensure mechanical integrity. Ensure all tools and equipment are properly guarded. Ensure tools and equipment are being used correctly and according to their design. Use the right tool for the job. Do not bring modified tools on site. All electrical tools and equipment shall have an on-off switch. Continuous operation buttons must be disabled. Equipment and machinery. Mobile equipment operators must be trained and certified. Mobile equipment shall be inspected before each shift's use. All mobile equipment must be chalked or otherwise prevented from rolling if not in a designated parking space. When in the shipping department, watch out for fork truck traffic. Do not touch moving machinery. Keep fingers, clothing, etc. away from moving parts and pinch points. Transportation and traffic. Seat belt use is mandatory on all equipment and vehicles where seat belts are provided. Zero tolerance. Engage parking brake when leaving vehicle. Again, always stop at the railroad crossing stop signs. Identify overhead power lines and ensure 10 feet clearance for all equipment. Observe all warning signs, designated traffic routes and designated parking areas. Obey posted speed limits. Mine pits. Do not enter stockpile or mine pit areas without consent from authorized KaMin personnel. Alert haulage equipment operators before entering area. CB radios are to be used for communication in the mine areas. If you are in the mine or stockpile area and get outside of your vehicle, you must wear an orange vest. Traffic patterns may change in the mine. Watch for such changes. Disregarding safety rules. The following rules are grounds for removal from KaMin sites. Any deliberate disregard for a safety rule, which can lead to the death or injury of an employee, including yourself. And any of the following. Emergency plans and actions.
Attention all personnel. This is a test of the emergency alarm system. Repeat. This is a test. Active shooter. Run. Hide. Fight. Active shooter. Run. Hide. Fight. Attention. This is the all clear tone. Attention. This is the evacuation tone. Attention. This is the shelter-in-place tone.
Emergency plans and actions. First aid stations equipped with first aid materials, including stretchers, blankets and AEDs, are located in each department. An individual trained to provide first aid including CPR shall be made available on all shifts. If an accident occurs, call the KaMin internal emergency number. Reporting. Any accident that could result in a fatality must be reported to MSHISH within 15 minutes. All accidents, near misses or significant incidents you may have or that you observe should be reported to KaMin personnel immediately. Any environmental issues you may observe, such as dusting or spills, should be reported to KaMin personnel promptly. Additional safety policies. You will require further specific training if the work you perform includes. Such work may require special permits. Please see your KaMin contact for more information. This concludes your MSHISH required site-specific training. If you have any questions, please contact a KaMin EHS specialist, supervisor, or project manager.
These are the rally points located at the Gordon plant. Here are the rally points for the Davyville plant, Doddville plant, and the main office. Here are the rally points for the Edgar plant, including our packaging operations area. Here are the rally points for the Edgar plant, 11F and G. Here are the rally points for our Washington County operations. And here are the rally points for our Dixie operations.